folks? What is up and welcome to another episode of Great Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer. I'm your host, Zach, joined by our voice actor, Wes.
I got a lot more plans. Check it out.
Ooh, Green Thumb Wes is what they call him now. And our actual lawyer, Pridge.
I got a whole lot of invisible decorations behind me.
Whoa, this is super expensive, Pridge.
Wow.
The invisible ones cost extra.
Crackalack cheer 10 bit saying nice invisible mid in a body pillow. Just really good.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. She's right here if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Folks, if you want to catch us live on follow us on twitch.tv/SaveDataTeam. See the finale as you get to make jokes with us in the chat. And if you want to support us, we'd really appreciate that. Head over to patreon.com/SaveDataTeam, where for just $2 a month, you get access to the full VOD channel of every single stream we do. $5 lets you vote on one of our variety streams, as well as get your name included as an NPC in our D&D campaign saving throw. And at the $10 level and above, you get your name included in this Patreon song.
Thank 'em, gotta thank 'em all. Gotta thank 'em all, our Patreons. Burger Bun, Mr. Cola Bun, Andy Cosmo, Dave Hall, Lucha, and Sofino. HSM, Ernless, Crow Knight, Danny, Antilester, Kevin Nation, Shadowed, Navi. Witch Tower, Skyher, Lockhart, Self Aria, Arky, Forensic, Becknick, Cole, JFJ, Mystic, Woody. Leprechaun, Jacob L, Go, Zeppeli, Sheber, Steam, Ryger, Rilla, Jolie, Baron Esper, BBC, What, and Sherlock's Mr. Mochasil, Art, Ami, Borshak. Amelia, Super Cool, Awana, Walshrim, Mari, Diego Garcia, Night Boomer, Emily. Mega Zero, Big Kerbo, Who Needs to Sleep, Alea, Yakta, Est, Ever Entropy, Daedric and Seraphina, Sealamgar, Chrissy, Fluffguff, Tasty, Marbar, Jack Warner, Taco Sensei, QB, Nagashi, Anime Chick, the Jester, Haruka, Naidi, Dessert Boy Man, Elijah Sly, Rick Rat, Katcha, Traveling in a Box, and Snowcat, Conjuring Scribe, Zeal Croissant, Fulfilla, Written Word, Shade the Punisher, Sevilla. Thank 'em, gotta thank 'em all. Gotta thank 'em all, our Patreons.
But folks, with all that out of the way, let's get back into the game. All right, we just got our new witnesses.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Would the new witnesses state their names and occupations for the court, please? Aye, Barry Caden, Governor of Barclay Prison.
What? Fuck off.
Everyone calls me Gossip. I'm so jaunty.
Your other persona, if you don't mind? Your other persona!
I was gonna say, he can use multiple personas?
Oh,
He's a main character?
God. He's a protagonist of a Persona game.
Oh my god.
I do beg your pardon, of course.
That was pretty good. I like that joke.
My name is Daily Vigil. I used to be the chief warder at Barclay Prison. And I'm Barrack Van Zeeks still. Resident hot guy. The reason you've been summoned here to court today is to testify about the jailbreak. Testify! Okay, alright. We don't have to do that every time someone says that now. About the jailbreak of the so-called Professor 10 years ago. Losh, the Professor? We've already been through all this before, a decade ago.
Okay, now, not to presume that Caden is smart or dumb, but the idea that you would be called here with Daily Vigil and not expect that this was the reason you were going to be put on stand is a little sus.
This is so unexpected.
And the conclusion was that there wasn't anything untoward happened.
A convict escaped from your prison, Governor. Hardly what you'd call nothing untoward.
Well...
The convict's death certificate was somehow falsified after he was allegedly executed. and he escaped the prison inside his own coffin. A plan of that complexity could never have been carried out without the help of somebody of influence inside the prison.
A plan that smart couldn't have been thought up by anyone other than the Great Herlock Shows.
Iris could have figured it out, but she was like just bored.
Yeah, she was
then.
0.
Governor Caden.
To be fair, even at age 0, I'd still count her more capable than some characters.
That's true.
Don't imagine that the passage of time will afford you any protection.
Oh shit, is he trying to be like Governor Caden? I know it was you that helped my dad get out of jail.
Uh-huh. If it turns out that you were involved in the plot to break Mr. Asogi out of prison, then of course, the consequences will be very serious. In all likelihood, a capital punishment. God! Hold on there, laddie. All I did was... Witness, Governor Caden. Aye, sir. You have a critical role
Yep. No.
to play in the...
I laughed at it.
You
too.
have a... You have a... Have you seen Critical Role?
I love
I'm a
Matt
huge...
Mercer.
I'm a big critter.
It's almost as
That's what they...
good as
That's
saving
what...
throw.
That's what we call ourselves. We legitimately call ourselves critters.
Oh, wait till you hear what we call the saving throw fandom.
Oh god, I don't want to know what.
Fans of saving throw.
Fuckos.
Got him.
What's up, fuckos? Thanks for watching.
One of my favorite.
I like suckers.
One of my favorite YouTube channels is a guy called Jordan Breeding, and he had his patrons name themselves, and they named themselves Breeders.
Wow. That's some shit I would expect our community to do.
And it's very funny.
You have a critical role to play in the public safety of our country. A great responsibility to shoulder. The significance of your testimony in court cannot be understated. Therefore, think carefully before you speak. And Prosecutor Asogi, if you threaten the witness again, you will be held in contempt of court. My apologies, my lord.
There's no disputing the fact that an intricate jailbreak plot was enacted 10 years ago. Clearly, you were both involved in some way. So you will testify before the court now and explain exactly what took place.
Very well. Let the witnesses give their formal testimony. Tell the court everything you know of the plot to break Asogi out of Barclay 10 years ago.
The jailbreak plan. It was the day that Japanese jock was found guilty. The directive came from the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, everyone know Genshin Asogi was a huge jock back in
Jock.
high school. Dude was on the football team.
Yo, Mikotaba, what's up, nerd?
I assigned the convict to the chief order vigil here and put the plan into action behind the scenes. I was responsible for Sergei right up until the night of his execution, but I knew nothing of any plot. I didn't ken if there was some negotiations between the convict and the prosecutor's office. All I did was carry out my duty for Her Majesty's great British Empire.
You know what's wild? I never suspected Caden was involved in this. Now I'm like, well, it has to be him because it wasn't Bailey, right?
Probably.
But why? Well, we'll get into it. A directive from the prosecutor's
models?
A directive from the prosecutor's office? Are you saying that Are you saying that was the jailbreak plot?
Aye, that's right.
Who sent it? Who authorized that plan?
I didn't ken that.
I don't even know what you're trying to say there.
Ken is no.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know that. Yeah, Ken is one of those weird words that I don't
know the origin
know
of.
why. I don't know why that means no, but... You're saying you don't know? Yeah, I said I didn't ken. Can't you hear? Clean your ears out. What are you talking about, lad? What, you don't understand what I'm saying? What? Does anybody understand him? Why you don't understand me? You can't talk to me like that when you don't understand what I say.
I love, sometimes they'll say divot for, like, don't. There's a great play called The Pitman Painters that has a great bit of, like, a more northern England or Scottish person talking to, like, a very, like, uptight, like, London-learned British man. He's like, you did, yeah, divot, yeah. And the guy's like, what the fuck are you asking me? And he's like, I'm trying to ask if you do art. You did, yeah, divot, yeah. It's good. It's good.
Listen, there wasn't a thing about the professor case that wasn't unusual in some way.
I forgot about this thing.
I didn't ask any questions. I just did what I was told to do. More than that, I couldn't tell you. More than that, I couldn't tell you.
I see.
But if the jailbreak plan originated from the prosecutor's office, then it must be Beric Van Zee!
Cosima!
Then one thing is very clear. He's gonna say it. Come on. As suspected, there were clandestine dealings going on between Mr. Asogi and that office. The jailbreak was promised in exchange for Mr. Asogi admitting to crimes he didn't commit. That, Counsel, is nothing more than speculation on your part.
Okay, Stronghart.
So, let me ask the defense.
Oh, yes, my lord.
I fail to see how these witnesses have any more pertinent information here. For one, I don't even know what one of them is saying. Do you intend to assert your right to a cross-examination? Nah.
Absolutely. I have no intention of squandering a single opportunity, my lord.
It seems all you Japanese are fiercely tenacious.
D.
Very well. Proceed, Counsel.
Alright, the jailbreak plot. Japanese jock was found guilty. Directive came from the prosecutor's office. I assigned the convict to the chief warder, Vigil here, and put the plan into action behind the scenes. See, you know what? I did forget to change the alerts. Good on you for donating now and reminding me. Fix that. I was responsible to Sogi until the night of his execution, but I knew nothing of the plot. I don't know if there were some negotiations between the convict and the prosecutor's office. All I did was carry out my duty for Her Majesty of the Empire. Okay. I feel like we start at the beginning here and be like, okay, well, what did they tell you to do?
Yeah, they're pretty much saying nothing, so...
Hold it! Did you say you don't know who actually issued the directive?
Aye, that's right. All I can be sure of is that it was official.
But if it was from the prosecutor's office, that narrows down who could have issued it straight away. To only one person, it was Beric Van Zee!
No!
And it wasn't me. Damn it! He got it out before I could finish.
I can't even say with certainty that it did originate from the prosecutor's office.
What?
There's no telling where it started. There's a fair chance it came from higher up the ladder. Basically, I can't give you any indication of who is behind it.
Okay, I mean, I know this.
Or if their name sounds like Jail.
Prom fart.
Bong fart. Jail bong farts. That's a name.
It didn't update the alerts. I'm really worried that Streamlabs is fucked up and it won't update the alerts. Prom fart's really good though. It says the Ace Attorney is active. This is bad. It's not changing. I swear to God. It says the Ace Attorney is on.
Alright, it looks like Kermit's here to stay.
Chat. Don't abuse this. You can't be serious!
All we can say for sure is that the order must have come from somebody in authority, I suppose. The likes of us on the ground, as it were, didn't bother with idle speculation. You just get the job done.
I thought you said whittle at first.
I know, it looks like widow boys like us don't know what happened.
Send a convict to Vigil and put the okay, well, what was the plan? I would like to know.
To break him out of jail.
So, Mr. Vigil, you don't know anything about it at all?
That's right. My only role in the scheme was as a scapegoat. That's right, isn't it, Governor?
Damn, bro, didn't even try to lie about it.
Some poor beggar had to take the rap for it.
Do you know what his life has been like for the last 10 years, by the way? Like,
He had to wear a giant fake lip.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vigil. Would you like a wee little handcuff cookie? Would that make it all better?
Actually, yeah, kinda would.
Alright, there you go, like. Help is on the way, Daily! Help is on the way!
Alright then. Who else did know about the plan?
I'm not the first idea, laddie. That part of the whole business was basically just dealing with the aftermath. I wouldn't be surprised if there were other folk in the prison service who'd been given similar orders.
so, you don't know who else was involved?
Aye, that's right. All I can tell ya is that the night it actually happened, the person at the reins was Dr. Stevens.
Dr. Even Stevens?
Ah!
Dr. Courtney Stevens? Dr. Scythe, as she's known now. Or in jail, as she's now known as.
Why did I have to get caught up in such a terrible business?
Negotiations with the convict and the prosecutors. Yeah, let's... Hold it! He says he doesn't know, but maybe he knows something. But you've already acknowledged that the orders came from the prosecutor's office to arrange for the man's escape. There must have been some sort of negotiation. It's the only explanation.
Aye, well, be that as it may, I didn't ken nothing about that.
Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to click over to Fanzeeks. He's like, oh, am I still here?
The witness stand is no place for telling what you don't know for sure. I ken that much, I do.
Then I presume you also know this. Not telling what you do know is a criminal offence.
What did I say about threatening?
So you were just following orders, is that it? I'm afraid that won't absolve you of guilt here.
A man was still killed illegally, even if he was a condemned criminal. You may very well be found complicit in murder, Governor.
I feel like still killed illegally is a very interesting 3 words put together. So that's what it's to be, is it? Even with the threat of conviction. What did I say about threat? You literally just used the word threat.
God damn it.
Even with the threat of conviction, you won't break your silence.
I mean, this feels like a nothing statement, but...
Maybe this is a just press everything and then we move on.
Could be. Did you carry out the plan in its entirety?
Aye, I did everything I could at the time.
As you know, Genshin Osogi was shot dead at Lowgate Cemetery after the escape. Tell me, was that part of the plan too?
My instructions were to go getting the joke out of the jail and nothing more. I cannot tell you anything about what happened after that. Only...
God damn it. Kermit Van Zeek's donated $10. Thank you very much. It's incredible. Pray forgive the discourtesy of offering both one margarita in my hallowed chalice and my leg at this vital plot juncture. Very good donation. Holy shit. Wow.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of my rainbow connection.
What does this all mean?
Whoa!
What does this all mean?
Okay. Thank you.
Personally, I believe his death was the last part of the plan.
Hey, Vigil?
Excuse me.
You doing all right there?
He's doing the spin sprite again, or spin motion again. Mr. Vigil, is something wrong? Please stop doing that.
Yes, sir? What can I do for you, sir?
Are you having war flashbacks? He's
The Great War hasn't even happened yet. What war are you flashing back to?
The War of 1812!
What? I think that's before your time.
How old are you?
How old are you?
What is it? Some sort of Barclay convention? What Governor Caden was just saying seemed to upset you. Did it bring something to mind, perhaps?
Whenever he does that, the Pillar Men theme plays in my head.
100%. 100%.
For the last 10 years, I've completely blotted out the memories of that time from my mind. I was betrayed by my superiors in the name of my country.
Just as my father was betrayed, it seems.
But you see, thinking back now, I really can't imagine that the shooting of Mr. Osogi in the cemetery was ever part of the plan.
What makes you think that?
Well, then why? I mean, why fake the execution of the first one? You're just gonna kill him afterwards, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
it would be a terrible plan. It's like, we'll fake kill him, and then kill him.
Kill him.
Well, I mean, then...
I am a genius.
I mean, that way, then whoever was actually to blame, he gets killed. He's going to take the flaw and not try and fight the court case, which is what they say.
No, I mean, yeah, I get that part, but I do understand what he's saying, that there's a hiccup in the plan, if that's the case.
For sure.
well, it just doesn't make sense, does it? To make the man admit to crimes he didn't commit, with the promise of a jailbreak, only to kill him in the end? That's treachery of the worst kind. But the point is, if the intention was always to betray him, why would there be any need for all the chicaneries of an escape? Yes, that's quite true.
If whoever negotiated with Osogi never intended to keep his or her end of the bargain, it would have been far simpler just to let the man be executed in prison as dictated by his sentence. It all happened in that vast chamber of in that vast Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that is Berkeley, behind the high prison walls. I suppose nobody knows what really went on in the execution room now. Yes, It's an unsettling mystery, certainly.
Truth be told, there is a wee matter that's never quite made sense to me. Is pee stored in the balls or not?
God damn it.
That's the wee matter that I just can't figure out.
It really is quite a question.
If not for the bulls, then where's the pee come from?
If you believe there was some kind of negotiation behind the jailbreak between Asogi and the body at the top, and somebody at the top, doesn't it quite add up, does it?
Governor Caden, I must insist that you explain these doubts that you have by amending your formal testimony. Okay, well that was the one we had to press, I guess.
Gods! Aye, go on then.
Why do you seem so mad?
Staring daggers at you, staring daggers at you, staring daggers at you. I'm assassinating you in my mind.
The Japanese fella didn't have nothing to
It seems to me the
bargain
Japanese fella
Oh.
didn't have nothing to bargain with.
with. Well, it's almost like that thing that he explicitly said, this is my final weapon or something like that.
Yeah, it's
The only weapon I have left, yeah.
Yeah, alright, well.
So what does it say? Give my stuff to my son. Deep sadness, I accept my fate in this foreign land. Knowledge that I'll never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path. I mean, that at least does seem... Why would he say that if he knew he was going to be busted out?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like evidence that he had something that was of value.
Objection.
Cool.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Confessing under oath to murders he didn't commit on a verbal assurance of later being broken out of prison, Genshin Asogi was taking an incredibly risky gamble.
Very true. There was nothing to stop the British breaking their word and executing him behind closed doors anyway. Under normal circumstances, no man would stake his life on a gentleman's agreement like that.
Which means that Mr. Asogi must have had a trump card. He played fuck clown in defense mode. Something that guaranteed he wouldn't be betrayed.
That is not a trump card. He's shitty Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Some kind of weapon.
Havers! The fella couldn't possibly have had anything like that.
But you know that he did, Governor. The Asogi Papers, the name given to the last will and testament of Genshin Asogi.
Yeah.
Turns out that Mr. Asogi was hiding his will in his cell at Barclay. Chief Warder Vigil caught him with it one day. Oh!
You squealed, did ya, you wee rat? Did I not tell you to keep that a secret? You can't touch me now.
I am literally touching you right now.
Just look at the side profile of Caden and how fucking huge his head is.
Oh, he's...
Dude, every part of it is huge.
It's ridiculous.
You can't touch me now.
You can't touch me.
When Mr. Vigil caught sight of that will through the bars of the convict cell, Mr. Asogi pleaded with the warder.
All right then. What's all that paper?
A last will and testament.
My grocery list.
This will is the only weapon I have left now.
A weapon?
And after the convict had been killed following the elaborate pretense of a jailbreak, that document mysteriously disappeared, didn't it?
Well, yes. Or the prison warder searched through the belongings in his cell, but Will was just nowhere to be found.
As I understand it, an exhaustive search was made for the document, which became known as the Asogi Papers. Governor Caden, I believe you ordered your prison staff to find it at all costs, didn't you?
Eh?
Would I be right in saying that you knew that the so-called Asogi Papers had the potential to make great waves somehow?
James! What the blazes are you blithering about? The will was found, right and proper. And the fella's cell where I said it would be. But how can that be? Where in his cell? We all searched the place from top to bottom.
I'm sure I made this joke the last time, but is he, you know...
Well, you didn't do a proper job, eh, you peely-wally galoot?
What?
Those aren't words!
You can't criticize me now! I showed it to you afore, Dano, young lawyer.
Yes, you did. I have the document right here. It's written in Japanese and reads, "The Last Will and Testament of Genshin Asogi."
Which means everything is as it should be.
But come on, Mael.
But Your Honor.
Can I call you Mael?
Come on.
We know he didn't write
Come
this.
on!
Not
Come on.
Man!
My lord, you see, there's an undeniable inconsistency here.
What? What inconsistency?
Mr. Asogi described the document as the only weapon he had left. And yet, this will contains nothing of significance at all. Nothing that would have given the convict any leverage.
Oh, are they missing a piece of paper? Are you suggesting, my learned friend, that the last will and testament stored at Barclay Prison all these years is actually a fake?
As has clearly been demonstrated already, what went on at Barclay Prison was far from above board.
No more zoom-ins on people's faces.
The camera zooms in on him. What are you doing?
No! What did I just say?
I'm not ready for my close-up.
That last vilification by the defense was an affront to the entire British legal system.
Okay, but bro, we literally know that they busted him out of... They made a plot to bust him out of prison, like...
This absurd notion of a weapon is something for which we have only the former chief warder's word.
That's an English sentence, alright?
The man could quite easily be lying, or at the very least, sorely mistaken.
What? No, I definitely heard him say that, I swear!
Clearly we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to know exactly what happened with these so-called Asogi papers. A waste of time! If the will was fake, where is the real document?
Objection!
Mr. Vigil was stabbed in the back by the judiciary 10 years ago. He lost everything, very nearly his own life. And now you're going to do it again. You're ready to brand him a liar and turn your back on him without even letting him defend himself.
It's clear that Barclay Prison is hiding something.
It's clear that the jailbreak was masterminded by somebody in the prosecutor's office.
It's clear that some illicit negotiations took place. Mother, is your lordship going to gloss over these obvious facts? What did you say, small baritone child?
We should hear more from the Chief Warder.
Have him testify again!
The trial must go on. The man's voice must be heard.
They're doing it again.
It would seem that a vocal few here are utterly blind to the truth.
I don't know if I call it a vocal few if the entire audience is forming a chant, but sure.
Hey, Zach, shut up.
Very well, then. Let the witness testify again.
Testify.
Tell the court precisely what you think you saw of the convict's last will and testament.
Yes, sir, my lord.
Hey. The Sogus Papers.
Yeah.
The Amogus papers.
Fuck. I'm so mad. Let me read some donations here. Very good. Alright. The Asogus Papers. The Amogus Papers.
As the warder responsible for condemning condemned convicts, I attended to Mr. Asogi and kept watch over his cell. The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will in his cell. We turned the cell inside out looking for it after the execution, but to no avail.
I only found out about the Asogi papers when a directive came telling me to impound them.
The document was in the folds of the fellow's robe that was left in the cell. Kaimono, I think it's called.
How dare you?
In his kimono? That's a lie.
How are you both so wrong?
We searched every inch of the man's cell. We looked through all his clothes. It can't be true.
Were you no satisfied with calling me a liar the once, eh, you wee waffinger?
There's nothing you can do about it now. You don't have any hold over me anymore. Even if you were to hold me right now.
Whoa! What?
Whoa!
I'm not actually doing anything. What are you doing?
Whoa!
Why is his cravat being pulled by nothing?
Telekinesis! Caden's using his mind powers!
He's like literally Darth Vader choking him right now. What?
I find your lack of Asogi papers disturbing.
Other than the hold you like to take on my cravat, of course. Is that what you're going to do? Is it? Are you going to give me a good shake again? Or are you too scared?
He's speeding up? That's incredible. Oh, he did it!
Ah!
Little and large. What a double act. What a double act.
We complied with Asogi's will as far as was possible. All of his personal effects were delivered to his family home in Japan. As a courtesy to the homeland of the most notorious killer our country has ever seen. Maybe... Because the only thing that came home was Karma, right?
There's a secret message inside Karma.
I mean, I still think Karma is going to be really relevant. Because it's in our evidence.
All my material possessions and I mean, he probably had some other things. Just some small personal effects.
Yeah, but I think the weapon that he's referring to is Karma, and there's a secret hidden in Karma. I'm convinced.
Is Karma still in our evidence?
Yes, it is.
It should be, because it was actively used in this case, yeah.
The great sword Karuma.
Yeah, I wonder if there's
a secret compartment
There's
inside the hilt.
secret compartment.
Yeah, there's a secret compartment somewhere in Karuma, I bet. And we were much obliged. I can confirm that all of my father's belongings arrived safely.
Aye. You can't deny the handwriting is that of your old man, eh?
I mean, dude was like 6 when his dad died. Like, I feel like it's wild for him to remember his dad's handwriting.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no mistaking that it's my father's brushwork.
Alright, even if he was 15, chat, I still feel like I'm right on that one. Unless you compare it, like you cross-referenced it with other stuff. Really?
And this last will and testament was the man's last weapon, was it? I think we can safely assume that the convict was merely prattling, knowing that his end was nigh. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Okay. I attended Mr. Sogi, kept watch over his cell. The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will. We turned the cell inside out looking for it after the execution, but to no avail.
Yeah. The will is in the hilt of Karma. I'm calling it.
I only found out about the Sogi papers when the director telling me to impound them. My question is, how would they know about the will? If only Vigil's the only human being that saw the will, and he didn't tell anybody about it.
Maybe they just made it up.
I think that's what it is. I think this will is made up, and his real will is somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And that directive came from the same source as the one instructing you about the jailbreak.
Aye. From the top levels of the prosecutor's office.
What name was on it? Was it Barrack Van Zeeks?
I didn't ken afore and I didn't ken now. All I can tell you is that my orders were to do everything in my power to find that document. The directive said it had to be somewhere inside the fella's cell.
Document? Was that the wording? Document, not will? It's an interesting thing to latch onto.
Aye, that's what it said.
Am I clutching at straws here? I just wonder if it was really Genshin Asogi's last will and testament that the sender of that directive was after. Okay.
Alright.
Continue with your testimony then, witness.
Interesting. The document was in the folds of the fellow's robe, a kimono, I think it's called. Alright, we're gonna talk about this.
Hold it!
In Mr. Asogi's kimono?
In his Camino.
Aye, the one he'd brought with him when he was locked up.
Yes. He was permitted to have his personal effects with him during his incarceration, I understand.
That's right. He was granted as much freedom as possible during the few days before his execution. Indeed, he had a number of items of personal significance, I remember. He was very reluctant to part with them. Some books, that kimono, his sword.
Sword?
His Karuma.
Karuma, the famous sword of the Asogi clan. It bears the soul of my family.
I've never heard you say that before. That's crazy.
Really? Yeah, I did not know that. If it was the soul of your family, that's crazy.
Yes. The mythical blade Karuma, with its secret compartment in the hilt.
That holds souls.
I've been told it's the perfect size for a secret note.
It's documents, the perfect document-sized hole inside of Karuma.
Cosmo, have you never opened it before?
My dad was
Why?
weirdly specific about.
What are you
My
getting
father
at?
was weirdly specific about how good it was at holding secret documents. He really overly stressed it. It was quite odd.
That's really funny. King Kieran says there's just Tic Tacs inside. Be really funny. It's
a Pez dispenser.
It's a Pez dispenser. That's really good.
Karma's actually a giant Pez dispenser.
That's good.
That's the secret of the Asogi clan.
We love Pez. I don't doubt it, but I wasn't really getting at that. Forget about it being the soul. Even he's tired about this bit. Forget about it being the soul of the clan. Could the man have had a more obvious weapon?
Wait a minute. I figured out the secret plot. Kazuma is our detective, or he's our rival, just like Edgeworth is our rival in the Ace Attorney games. Karuma is actually a Pez dispenser. Edgeworth's dog is named Pez. It's all coming together, everybody.
His dog's name is Piss?
His dog's name is Pez. Hey, listen, can we talk about the mail here? I've been dying to talk about the mail here.
You've connected nothing.
Have some respect, Ryunosuke.
Respectful silence?
The warders carry firearms at all times, and the inmates have shackles around their ankles.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't really acknowledge the fact that he was a prisoner and allowed to have a fucking sword in his cell, which is kind of wild.
Just normal things for the British Empire.
He couldn't have hurt anybody with that thing.
I mean, it's a literal sword. Still, he was allowed a sword, but no writing materials.
Well, the pen is mightier than the sword.
So we didn't give him a pen.
So we didn't give
Because
him
it's
a pen.
clearly more powerful than
Too dangerous. Give him a sword, though. No problem.
I wonder if he wrote something in his own blood. Probably not. It's probably just a document.
He wrote that
Fine,
will
it's
before he...
more like paper, baby.
He wrote that will before he came to stay with us at Barclay, you see.
Dr. Mikotoba was asked to bring the necessary Japanese writing implements to the prosecutor's office.
A Suzuri inkstone, black sumi ink, and some Hanshi rice paper, no doubt. I was present when he wrote it. But I'm sorry to say, the letters just look like a squareman mass of jet black earthworms to me.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell what he wrote if it was in Japanese.
Also, what a wild thing to say. Also, the spelling of earthworms is very good.
Earthworms.
Yeah. Just to make sure, that's the video game trying to let you know how to pronounce his accent. That's not how the British spell earthworms,
Earthworms.
right?
Oh no.
I gotta be on guard now, you know? The last few weeks have been really fucking me up.
Excuse me.
Sack's been burned too many times.
Are you feeling faint, Mr. Vigil?
He's gonna be like, but it was written in English, or it was written. I could understand it.
Caden's like,
sorry.
Caden's like, oh yeah, sorry, I just can't read. That has nothing to do with what language it was in. I just, after all words look like to me.
Oh yeah, I'm illiterate. Did I not mention that?
I just fucking can't read. Be chill about it, okay?
What are we waiting for, Zach?
So many people in the chat, I'm pretty sure they're all just punking me, are saying that's the British spelling of earthworms. I'm just making sure.
I think they're fucking with you.
Yeah, okay, no, they're fucking with me. Alright, chat. You're not pulling a fast one on me today.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
You don't fool me again. Mr. Vigil!
Sir! It was Scarlet, sir!
The Pimpernel? What?
See, oh yeah, so he did write something in his own blood. Hell yeah. Okay, all right.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blurt it out like that.
Oh my god, stop. Less swaying and more explaining.
You gotta
would
be
be
so
helpful.
busy at this point, my dude.
Say it, don't sway it.
Is it something about the testimony we just heard? Have you recalled something of importance? Something of importance? Possibly, or possibly not.
Are you a man of no importance, Daily Vision? God damn.
I'm unable to tell which way he's leaning, I'm afraid.
Well, it seems like every way. My lord, the defense asks that Mr. Vigil be permitted to supplement his testimony with this possibly or possibly not important detail.
Permission granted.
Go ahead, Mr. Vigil.
Yes, it was Scarlet. As I remember it, the document was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken.
Hey, guess what?
I mean,
I'm assuming this was written in black, huh?
Hey,
Oh, well.
it looks like it's
Yeah.
Objection!
Nope. Okay.
what? Boo.
Well, that's a little bummer to me. What do you think, my lord?
I see no inconsistency there. Do you? You could span the Straits of Dover with those eyes, Counsel, and be gone from this island forever, I hope.
Damn. Do you want me to fill the English Channel with tears? How do we...
I feel like it has to be that last statement. It's probably just a different piece of evidence, or maybe you have to press it.
Yeah, let's press it. Scarlet, you say?
Well, yes. I mean, I only caught sight of it for a brief moment, of course. But even by the dim light in the cell, I remember thinking that it was an unusual color. At the very least, I'm quite sure it wasn't black.
Which is what Caden said it was. Oh.
Witness. Is that really what you saw?
Sir!
Is something wrong, Lord Stronghart?
No. I apologize. Continue.
What do you make of that, Mr. Naruhodo?
I mean, obviously.
For Lord Stronghart to be so visibly shaken in that way.
Ugh, didn't haver. You can plainly see the writing here, and it's as black as the ale of hell's waistcoat.
Wow.
Well, yes, you're right.
Mr. Vigil, I'd like to confirm one point with you. Did you actually see the content of that document that Mr. Isogi was holding that night?
Oh, well, no. I mean, there was no time. As soon as he noticed me there, he hid it behind his back.
But it was definitely a will, was it?
Yes, it was. That's what Mr. Isogi told me.
The court need waste no further time on this matter. We have the will in question in our possession. There is nothing more to add.
Will written in scarlet ink. What did Mr. Vigil really see Kazuma's father holding, I wonder?
If you have an inkling, Mr. Naruhodo, you must present it to the court at once.
Splatoon! The testimony doesn't give much away.
So this will really was penned by Kazuma-sama's father. I wonder what he could possibly have meant when he described it as a weapon.
It wasn't the same document. It's starting to sound very much like Mr. Isogi actually had nothing.
But the plan to break him out of jail went ahead, which means he must have had some bargaining power. He must have been hiding something. It's the only explanation that makes sense.
It's Starting to sound like Mr. Isoki actually might have had something. Wait, what?
Which is it, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm not sure, but I feel as though I'm on the brink of understanding all this. Let's listen to all the information again and see what we can learn. We can't overlook even the smallest detail.
Absolutely.
Okay, do we have a piece of evidence that's written in red ink?
Good thinking.
Because, that'd be pretty wild if we were holding on to something that was written in red this whole time. I mean, the newspaper circled in red.
Boom. Got his ass. I mean, like, he definitely used the sword to cut himself and then used that as, like, a quill to write this paper. Yeah, let's start going through things. All of our papers. That's Gregson. Our old papers, I guess. Passport, Sugi. This is nothing.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't there something about something
Hold the
red
phone.
was found somewhere? There somebody
is
made
a red stamp on that, but I assume that's just what's his fuck's.
No, yeah, it's just that's a stamp.
Wait, yeah, recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers.
Of the right hand. But no document with the corresponding ink was found.
That's what you present.
Boom.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
Oh, baby! Okay.
Okay.
So we gotta get to the last phrase. Remember the document's written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Clint's autopsy.
Objection!
Hey-o! That feels
Got
good.
him.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Scarlet colored.
Yeah, I know. That one, I'm over that. I'm over that one. When I was younger and I found out they spelled it that way, it bothered me. I don't care about it. It's fine. It's totally fine.
But skepticism? Oh no.
No, skepticism. Change your language. Come on. Scarlet-colored writing is what you said you Scarlet-colored writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Vigil. And I believe that's exactly what you did see.
What? Havers again! You've no evidence to say that.
Have a look at this report. Have a look at this report. Doesn't really work.
That's a really hard word to stretch into 3 syllables.
Yeah.
That's my brother's autopsy report.
Yes. And there's something in here that's bothered me since I first read it. It states that these scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand.
Yes, so it does.
Scarlet ink?
Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit. But I would hazard a guess they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they?
Your wit is not appreciated.
That's my fucking brother's fingers you're talking about, you piece of shit. My brother's
But
fingers were
incidentally-
perfect.
But incidentally, we did call him Old Red Fingers. My brother was a well-bred and fastidious man.
He was he?
Should ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately. What is your point, Counsel?
My point is this. Whatever Lord Clint Van Zeeks was writing in that unusually coloured ink, it must have been directly before his death. Because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand.
What? I remember something that troubled me at the time. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual.
Yeah, he was writing something and then he got killed.
and no document penned in the color of the ink that was in the inkwell was ever found.
So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that you killed
No!
my father?
Stop! Cosimo, please! How are you still stuck on this?
Could you even comprehend how unhelpful you're being at this point?
It's honestly just the gift that keeps on giving.
No,
Is
it's funny.
Cosmo
It's
just
very
accusing
good.
Van Zeeks. That the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was...
The same document that Lord Clint Van Zeeks was writing moments before his death.
Then it was...
If Mr. Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that yes.
Oh, it's Clint's
Mr.
will.
Vigil,
Sir!
you spotted Mr. Asogi with a document in his cell. His precise words were as follows, were they not?
All right then. But what's on that paper?
A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. Yeah, so it was Clint's will.
Mm-hmm.
A last will and testament.
If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we now know completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asogi said.
Oh my god, it's gonna say, and please take care of my daughter Iris, chat.
Oh my god, oh
That's
my god.
and I fucking called it.
Oh, that's so
Oh my god.
You really think?
Mr. Vigil did indeed see the convict with the will. But it wasn't that of Genshin Asogi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks.
No.
What?